Hi, and welcome to Astro Bites for Sunday, September the 22nd, 2024. And today is, of course, the autumn equinox in the Northern Hemisphere, and in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the spring equinox. And I have to apologize to everybody living in the Southern Hemisphere because all of us astrologers are not always very good at remembering that there is another part of the planet south of the equator. Apologies, because everything is geared for this kind of northern kind of way of looking at astrology. So it is the spring equinox for the Southern Hemisphere, Australia, New Zealand, South America, South Africa, one Easter Island. So let's take, I've got a video, I've got a video up already for the autumn equinox. And so just imagine it also says spring equinox. So have a look at that. That's on my channel now. And there's a chart up for that. And someone made a very valid point that sometimes the chart I have showing doesn't always correlate with the chart I seem to be reading about. This is because I use the chart from the application that I pay for, because then it's legal to show it. And I think I'm not getting the time zone correct for the chart I use to do the reading, because the chart I use to do the reading, hang on, I'm just going to show you, is just a bit simpler. So there we go. It looks like that. And it's ASTROLOGICAL.com, and it's just a really good app that if you're wanting to learn more about astrology, it's horoscopes.astro-seek.com. So as I say, apologies that sometimes things have been in different houses, and Lilith has moved, as has the vertex. That's that bit done. Now, yes, this is the day that the sun moves into the sign of Libra. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the actual equinox, because I have done it already in my autumn equinox video. But let's just have a look at some of the actually more important aspects, because they will affect us today. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Remember, he's in Capricorn tidying things up. This can be to do with how you feel about yourself. It can be to do with relationships. It can be to do with work and family. It can be to do with anything that needs a little bit of discipline and structure, a little bit of kind of hard work, a way to see oneself, or see the way through the quagmire of kind of illusion and delusion that the full moon in Pisces created for a lot of us. Well, Pluto is squaring Venus in Libra at 29 degrees. Remember, Venus rules Libra. Libra is about harmony, balance, relationship, fairness. And it's a cardinal sign, so it's very proactive, like Capricorn. Cardinal, proactive, get things done. A square is a challenge, and both of them are at the final degrees of their respective signs. So they're both at the anaretic degree, which means the powerful trigger point of that particular sign. So it underlines in big red crayon this particular aspect or square from Pluto to Venus. Transformation needs to take place in relationship and relating in general. Whichever area of your life needs some kind of examining under a microscope a bit, but harsh reality, but not in a way that brings about destructive tendencies or losing everything, because Pluto can be quite seen as a sort of a planet of ending. It's also about transformation, new beginnings. You know, this full moon where we still have this kite formation, I mean, it's just there. It's just floating there, kind of, let's go fly a kite. And what Pluto is saying to Venus is, be mindful, be balanced, be harmonious in how you deal with situations in your life that are challenging. Remember your worth. Sometimes we give too much to another in terms of feeling, emotion, direction, guidance. And we're too, basically we're being doormats. So what this transit is saying is, if you have a tendency to be a doormat, stop it. So this energy is powerful, but it's talking about you empowering yourself, seeing yourself as the wonderful star, light being that you are within. You need to recognize that. You need to see it. And just recognize it, acknowledge it, be it. And Pluto, of course, is sextiling Neptune still and making a wonderful trine to the Sun in this 0 degree of Libra, saying, you know, it is about transformation, but I actually think, because it's in the 9th house of my event chart that I'm looking at, that there's something here about maybe seeing some way through some of the terrible things that have been unfolding this week in our war zones. And I think a lot of what's been happening has scared people to death. The terror is exactly that. It terrifies people. Take back your power, whatever situation it is. So if we're on a personal level, take back your power. Know your worth. And the moon today is in Gemini. So it's swiftly moved from Pisces through Aries, through Taurus. It's in Gemini, but it's conjunct transiting Uranus that's retrograde in Taurus. It's an out of sign conjunction, but the people are going to be rebelling. People in general are going to be a force to be reckoned with. They are going to spill out onto the streets, pleading, saying, fighting, saying no to war, yes to peace, telling everybody to stop it. Because I think there are enough enlightened people around now to know that there are certain sectors of world society that are being desperately manipulated, and it needs to end. I'm going to stop there because I'm going to bring us on to our word for the day. So let's see. Well, I've got quite an interesting word. It's Nadir or Nadir, which is spelled Nadir, and it's actually The IC in a chart is the nadir of the chart. It's the lowest point of an astrological chart. So when you hear me talking about the cusp of the third and the fourth house, or you hear me talking about the IC, it's the lowest point of the chart, and it is called the nadir. And it symbolizes the challenges we face and the potential there is for growth through the hardships that we face. So, as usual, I've found some quotes. I've got good old Khalil Gibran. I love him. He says, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. So, you know, this shows that even at life's nadir, one's lowest point, there is huge potential for growth and strength, which offers a sense of hope in the face of hardship and difficulties. And it's the same Victor Hugo said, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. So what he's doing is expressing the idea that no matter how low or hopeless a situation can seem, even at its nadir, its lowest point, it will eventually give way to something better. C.S. Lewis suggests that hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. And I'm thinking of a lot of the people I see on Skype or Zoom as clients. And if that resonates for you as a client, then I'm talking about you. And what C.S. Lewis is suggesting is that when we reach the nadir, that lowest point, it can be a catalyst for personal transformation, leading to extraordinary outcomes. This is like discussing the transformative powers of Pluto when I was talking about it squaring Venus in Libra. It can lead to the most extraordinary transformation, the hardships we face. And it is the people that have the most scars. They're usually the strongest, the toughest, and the most vulnerable. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." And that reflects the idea that even in the nadir of despair, in our lowest form of being, if we have a sense of purpose, we can endure and rise above the terrible circumstances we find ourselves in. The last one is J.K. Rowling. She said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." And this is what happens with, and I'm thinking of the Pisces energy again, which, as you know, is often prominent or prevalent or present in people with addictions. Pisces will be a sign that will be definitely around alcoholism, drug addiction, prescribed drug addiction, sex addiction, shopping addiction, gambling, all of those things. And it's always said that, you know, you have to hit that rock bottom. It's only when an alcoholic hits rock bottom and he or she then recognizes that they have to do something about it themselves. They have to help themselves, because no one can take them out of that dark pit. They have to want to climb out of it and find a way to climb out of it on their own. And that is why there are such wonderful organizations like Alcoholics Anonymous, rehab centers, mental health teams that deal with all of these kind of addictions. So that's the Nadir. That is what the Nadir represents. And you may have found with this Pisces energy that we've had with the full moon lunar eclipse that for some of you, it's brought you to the nadir of your emotions and your energies. You may have felt absolutely rocked to the core and raw. But now we're on the way up. The sun is in Libra and it's a new day. And it could be a serendipitous day, couldn't it? Just saying. Don't forget to join me tonight for my live for the forecast for the week ahead and the word for the week. And please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And I tell you what, I really look forward to seeing a lot of you later and some of you tomorrow for the Astro Bites. Bye for now.